Is there real heat between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre? That seems to be a very big conversation that is being had on social media, and I want to talk about it because there are some new reports. And quite frankly, guys, when something like this is being talked about, we got to play devil's advocate and we got to talk about both sides. Now, yes, WWE does have CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in arguably one of the best programs going on Monday nights. And this is a storyline that is carried over for months, despite the fact that CM Punk hasn't been cleared. And a lot of that actually stems from the social media activity from Drew McIntyre. And I think that's why this has become such a great storyline in general, because even without that much physical action between the two, there is a lot of heat in this storyline, and a lot of people are actually wondering if it's real or not. And there's been a lot of conversation about this in recent days because of talks regarding CM Punk's contract status with the company. And then we got some news from Worked Wrestling, and I just want to talk to you guys about this because I feel like in a weird way, this could all be a work. This could all be blurring the lines, and this could all be real. And that's what makes it so incredibly fun. Now, Worked Wrestling came out with a tweet suggesting while Drew McIntyre deleted his photo with Jack Perry, there is zero concern of any backstage heat. McIntyre and CM Punk are working closely to craft their feud, and all references to past AEW or backstage issues have been given the green light by Punk ahead of time. Now, this is a very interesting situation because it seems like the company where none of the drama actually took place is the one who is benefiting from it the most. And this is where I do criticize a little bit towards AEW, because this is how it should have played out in AEW. From the time that there was reports of a backstage brawl between the Elite and CM Punk, and nobody was able to come together and meet and find ways to make money off this, was insane. And then it was even more insane when we got news of CM Punk and Jack Perry having a backstage fight at AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. CM Punk still had his match, and then what makes it even more insane is the fact that AEW did eventually air the footage of Jack Perry and CM Punk's issue, and to be honest with you, seeing that footage, I didn't really see AEW capitalize on it. And that's not a dig towards AEW, but it just seems like WWE has found a way to massively benefit from this. And that's why it does make a lot of sense for this specific storyline for them to lean into it. Now, let's just say AEW and WWE, have different philosophies on how to handle the situation. Obviously, Tony Khan did not want CM Punk there because he made the decision to get rid of him, right? We are all very well aware of that. But WWE, in a different way, has looked at this as a way to blur the lines and make people actually wonder if what is happening on social media and on television, if it's actually real heat. And I can understand why so many people are talking about it in recent days, because CM Punk news regarding his contract has led to a lot of people believing that maybe CM Punk actually has an issue with Drew McIntyre getting paid more than him, and that's why CM Punk wanted to make more money on his contract and restructuring. And it's so funny because it has become a convoluted mess, which is exactly what I think the intentions were. Drew McIntyre got everybody talking when he posted a photo with Jack Perry, and as you guys saw in the thumbnail of this video, it was actually a real photo. But then what really changed things was the moment that the photo was deleted, because obviously when something's deleted off the internet, it's not actually off the internet. I shared the image on my Twitter account. I know several others have done the same as well. And this has got people thinking that there might be some genuine heat there and it wasn't approved or anything like that. But on the flip side of that, you have Worked Wrestling, who has provided tons of big stories in the past, and they're saying, no, this is being carefully crafted. And I actually have an issue with that. There are just certain things that we don't need to know backstage in the world of professional wrestling. This is one of those situations. I think the reason why people have become so intrigued with the storyline over time is the fact that people don't actually know if it's genuine heat, if there's genuine issues or whatever. There's a lot of people who have also been theorizing that maybe this is Drew McIntyre testing CM Punk in a way to see if CM Punk is truly grown up. Has he grown up from the behaviors that he showed backstage towards AEW? Because a lot of people seem to actually think that. Like, there is a conspiracy out there that people believe that Drew McIntyre is testing Punk, trying to see if they can get him to break and then slip up and then eventually lead to his failure in the company. And look, conspiracies, people will overthink them. I think overthinking is absolutely insane because at the end of the day, while it sounds like a good conspiracy, you just simply have to remember in this particular situation, CM Punk and Drew, if they are carefully crafting it, they're doing a really good job. And really, it just comes down to what I was saying earlier about WWE finding ways to make money off this. And CM Punk has been injured. He hasn't been cleared for several months. And so when you see something like this roll out and it's happening on television, everybody is excited about it. And yes, we're going to see CM Punk fight Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. And that's really dope because Seth Rollins and his reaction to CM Punk's WWE return just seemed so real and authentic. And I think WWE knew immediately when they brought in CM Punk, hey, we got to get people thinking that there is some legitimate issues. Now, obviously, let's just be really clear here. I don't want backstage issues with CM Punk. I didn't want them in AEW, and I sure as hell don't want them in WWE. At the end of the day, the best storylines are the ones that feel real. And the ones that feel real in a scripted environment are the ones that you really do start to see the tribalism come out, because your CM Punk stands are going to be so anti-Drew McIntyre and your Drew McIntyre stands are going to be so anti-CM Punk that now on social media, you have people picking sides. And that's kind of essentially what you want in the world of professional wrestling. You do want that when it comes to a storyline on your television show. You want to somewhat divide your fan base, because if you look at it from the perspective of Drew McIntyre, despite actually being a heel, when you really listen to his promos and look at his behaviors, you should actually have a little bit more sympathy for the guy. And that's not the way it's being positioned because of the fact that a lot of people who love support and really love CM Punk, they're the ones making it clear that they're going to cheer for him. So ultimately, this is a fun storyline, man. This is a fun storyline. Whether or not there's real heat, I guess we'll never really know. I do genuinely believe we are in a situation where they are working together. Now, I'm not saying they're buddy-buddy. I'm not saying they're best friends. I'm not saying there isn't any issues between them, because there very well could be. But at the same time, too, this is what I said years ago. If there's actual issues, find ways to make money from it. You know what I'm saying? Find ways to turn it into compelling TV. WWE has managed to do that. AEW wasn't really able to do that. And it's two different circumstances. Obviously, the drama didn't happen in WWE, so their reaction to it is going to be a lot more different than AEW's. But yeah, this is great stuff, man. I absolutely love what we're watching going down. And Drew McIntyre posting and deleting the photo with Jack Perry, it definitely got the wheels turning. I think it adds a lot more heat and a lot more credibility to their match at SummerSlam. And the only thing we could really hope for at this point is a great match that should surely spiral into the next chapter, which is Seth Rollins and CM Punk. So don't be shocked if you see Drew McIntyre win thanks to Seth Rollins' help, and then that leads to the next big story. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think down below.